Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show. Meet the trusted experts who will give you straight answers and will help guide you on the path of later life care. Now, here's your host, founder, caregiver, and CEO, Suzanne Newman.
And welcome everyone back to Answers for Elders radio network. And we're here with the wonderful Lori La Bey from Alzheimer Speaks. And we're talking about emotional wellness, how to feel a stronger sense of well-being. And we are specifically talking about Lori's brand new book called Betty the Bald Chicken. And it's not only just a children's book, it's something that obviously each and every one of you, I know for me as a 67-year-old woman, I certainly got a lot out of it. It had me in tears and it got me thinking about how I can validate my loved ones, but also how I can have a better sense of well-being on my own. And so Lori, first of all, I want to thank you for writing this story. It's very touching. And I know, you work with families and caregivers and those specifically afflicted with Alzheimer's disease, which to me is an overwhelming scenario, even more so, because again, you're watching someone deteriorate on their mind, right? But how can you, what are some things you can share as far as tools to focus on that well-being principle?
Well, again, in the book, there's questions that ask you, have you ever felt like Betty? Just to open up that door. How do you care for yourself when you feel down? How do you want others to, and so forth? I won't get into all of them, but two primary things that I use. One is a breathing exercise, and you take 11 deep breaths in, and then you exhale those breaths really slowly. And on the inhale, what I do is I ask for God or my higher power or whoever you believe in to give me what I need in that moment. Don't be specific, because our higher powers know a lot more than we do in terms of what we need. And then on the exhale, I ask for all the toxins in my mind, body, and soul to release. And it brings me back to the days when I was younger and my parents would say, don't react right away, count to 10. What they were doing was to try to get you centered. And the breathing actually recenters your body, but it also recenters the chemistry in your body.
Yes.
So it really calms you down. And it's amazing how much just some deep breaths can change and really, really, really help you a lot there. So that's one. The other one, when I would get really frustrated, I don't know if you got frustrated at times, but
just like a million times a day.
Yeah. So throughout life, and again, these can be used at any time. I would think that I'm like looking really hard at how to fix a problem. That's usually when I'd get frustrated. And I would go downstairs and I would make sure no one was home because I didn't want anyone to know I wasn't in control. And I would have a screaming match with God. Like, come on, throw me a bone. Why is this happening? I'm working so hard. And I was just really frustrated. And then I realized I needed to ask, what is the lesson? I think everything that happens to us in life has a lesson. And when I started doing that, and again, you don't have to scream and yell like I did. That's just kind of how I learned. I don't do that anymore. But when I asked, what's the lesson wrapped in this frustration? The answer would come sometimes in 20 minutes, sometimes in 2 days, but it always became really clear. And what I realized was that I was, even though I thought I was really focused at an end result, I was really swimming in all the minutia and all the particles of the frustration. And so those two are really my mainstays to be centered and focused and calm and not feel alone.
Yeah. And I do a similar thing. It's really interesting. Instead of, I don't say, what's the lesson? I try to say, what's good about this? It's because I do believe there's opportunity. And a matter of fact, I think there's a symbol in Chinese that the symbol for crisis and opportunity are the same. It's interesting, right? So understanding that piece of realizing that, I do believe there's such in life that we have an opportunity to learn in every situation. And you know what? At the end of your caregiving scenario, if you are caring for a loved one, you will have memories that no one else has. I know for me, now that my mom's been gone since 2011, I still think about those little magic moments, even though they were hard. It's like I had a piece of her with me that no one else has. These are things you will remember. And so Lori and I, we're going to talk in just our last segment together. We're going to talk a little bit more about Betty the Bald Chicken, who it's for, and how to get it. And we'll be right back, everyone, right after this. We at Answers for Elders thank you for listening. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.